Now we're going to invite a dear friend of Yossi's, Dr. Stelly Munnis, another beating heart of our team, to join us to introduce Pat McCabe, who, just as a reminder, has asked us to bring a container of water for her session. So if you haven't had a chance to grab that, this might be a good time to do it.
Thank you so much, Teju. So we couldn't have picked a more appropriate person for the sacred invocation. Pat McCabe is a Native American elder who leads ceremonies for deep social healing, which is exactly what we need as individuals and as a society as it relates to gender. Pat was born into the Diné or Navajo Nation, and she's also spiritually trained in the Lakota tradition. So the following quote beautifully sums up the importance of Pat's work. So she says, to be the disembodied intellect and observer, rather than passionate participant and harmonious co-creator. This is what's led to great misunderstanding of who we are, where we are, and how it is. So Pat, thank you so much for being here with us today and for leading us in our opening ceremony and for bringing us into sacred time and space. I'll turn it over to Pat.
Thank you very much, Stelly. When we just did a little tech check, I did not have this beaming halo of light over me, but I'm going to call it in and say thank you. So I'm a little bit of a ethereal figure here for us this morning, but I'll say yat b'nei, good morning to each and every one, or good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. And I just so appreciated hearing you, Yossi, and your words and your intention for this gathering. So I want to say that I come from Diné Nation, and that way I'll introduce myself to say She'e'iya, Tachi Inashli, Aro Ashi'i Bashishchi, Ma'edishkejne Dashanale, Klauschi Daushiche, Kwetaoslani Nashli. So I'm telling you about my clans, and we get our clans from our mothers. And I also was adopted into the Lakota spiritual way of life. And that's how I come to have the name Weyakpa Najimi, Woman Stand Shining. So I was told when I was called into ceremony to address what took place during the witch hunts in Europe, that at this time on this Mother Earth, the five-fingered ones are being called on to birth themselves anew with this transformation, transmutation of this Mother Earth and our life here. And I was told that this wound between masculine and feminine, between men's nation and women's nation, between the genders, should be of the highest priority for us. Because I was told, how can you birth yourselves anew with such a wounding at the core of your procreative ability? So for me, I feel like this moment, this gathering is very crucial. It's very key for our kind. And so I'm very honored to be called on to have opening ceremony here together, to set our intention, to activate and make it known that we intend for this gathering, for what is brought here from all these different perspectives and from the full spectrum of gender, you know, kind of where we're at in our process. And for myself, I open this up to the larger community of life. I use this image here of the hoop, the sacred hoop, to say that, you know, every single life form gets to be a member of this circle of life, and the human beings also have been given a seat on this sacred hoop. And so I'm calling out, you know, this also symbolizes just how interrelated we are. Thich Nhat Hanh calls us interbeing. And so for me, I feel it's so important to reach out to the whole community of life to be here with us and to inform us and to listen for us and to understand where we're at as the youngest members to join this sacred hoop on this earth. And so we say that all these other life forms are our elders. So I reach out to that larger circle of life. I reach out to the spiritual community. And I also reach out to our ancestors and our ancestors to come for their wisdom, and their knowledge, their understanding. So I want to speak about this one here. This holy mani wachozane wakam is how we describe it in Lakota. And that's talking about this as water of life. We say it's not only, it doesn't only give us life, it is life. And I was told that this water, so I invite you to maybe hold whatever water you brought here and acknowledge just what this is. So I'm going to say this is one of the highest schools that we have on this Mother Earth, teaching us so deeply about interrelatedness. I want to say that this water, in our science books, we're told about the water cycle on this Mother Earth. We're told, that the water from the ocean evaporates and makes its way up to the clouds. The clouds travel and rain down onto the mountains. The streams come down from the mountains and collect in rivers, which then return to the sea. And that's how it was described to me in my early science about what this is. But I want to point out that they forgot something really important in that description. They forgot that this water actually also passes through every single life form. All of its understanding of how to be here, all of its understanding of how to be in relationship, all of its understanding about how to harmonize as interbeing in all these different expressions of life, in both masculine and feminine. So all of the consciousness of all of life that has ever been is also in this water. We say it's always been the same water, and that water has been traveling around and through us and through our ancestors. So I also invoke this water to say that this water, this very water in this glass right here, every single one of our ancestors had a drink of this water. Every single life form had a drink of this water. Even Tyrannosaurus Rex had a drink of this water. So it's also a keeper of our stories. It's a record keeper of our histories, but also of our beliefs and our consciousness. So I'm reaching out to this one as a unifying presence among all of us, whatever our ancestry is, whatever gender we express ourselves as, to say that this one binds us all together as one living family, a family of life. All the ceremonies, all the ways, all the highest understandings, and even all of our lowest moments too, have been recorded in this water. But now I want to invoke our instances of functional polarity in our masculine and feminine aspects. I want to invoke the times when we have worked together, all the instances of harmonious balance between masculine and feminine, and also invoke all the great loves, all of the great loves that have been expressed throughout time, human and otherwise, because we say the eagles mate for life, the hawks mate for life. So I call on the larger community of life. I call on this holy water of life I call on our ancestors, and I call on our ancestors to come to be with us here and to observe and to listen. Listen to what's on our hearts and minds here. And I ask that there might be moments where we have an opportunity to suspend our beliefs just for a moment, to allow in new possibilities, suspend our indoctrinations, suspend our dogmas, suspend even our hurt and wounding long enough to consider a new possibility. So a prayer that I often make, and I'll end here, is to say, help me to understand, show me, Holy Circle of Life, Holy Spirit, what else could I be thinking other than what I always think? What else could I be feeling other than what I always feel? What else could I be doing other than what I always do? What else could I be saying other than what I always say? Show me the spectrum of possibilities. Show me how to participate in the very highest possibility for life, light, and love. Show me how, as this gift of gender that was given to us, show me how to live in that, to be an expression of omnibeneficence, to be a blessing and benefit to this entire circle of life. And so with that, I ask that if you'd like, you can keep this water present with you as we move through these days of consideration and exploration and opening. And at the very end, if you like, you can have a drink of the water to take in that knowledge, but I also take it out and offer it onto the earth to just ask her to take a good look at our thinking, our feeling, the way making that we're having, and ask her then with every footstep that any one of us here who's participating takes, that she can inform us, that she can continue to hold us and guide us and bring us back into what this expression of gender was truly meant to be for us. With that, I say all my relations. Thank you.